What's going on, guys? I hope you're all doing well. So lately, I've been spending a lot of time on my PS5 Pro, which is actually insane for me. But yeah, ever since Battlefield 6 came out and Fortnite having the Simpsons update, I've been spending a lot of time over there. And it's mainly because I'm tired of playing competitive games on the PC for all the reasons that have been discussed to death. You get why, the cheaters and the overall sweatiness of it, I guess. Don't get me wrong, I am competitive, but just not to the degree that I used to be. And these days, I'm just looking for that balance, the balance between competitive gameplay at a casual level. And what I've been discovering is that when you play Battlefield 6 and Fortnite and probably any other competitive game on the console with crossplay turned off, you get that. I'm just sitting back talking on the mic right now. This isn't going to be a structured essay type of video, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm showing you on the screen. I'll probably have my PS5 Pro Fortnite gameplay up and Battlefield 6 gameplay up, both of which with crossplay turned off. But yeah, as I've been playing these games over the past few days and just noticing how relaxed the experience has been, it's just making me want more of this across the board and actually making me look forward to the PS6. I think with the PS5, what we're seeing here is not necessarily a beta test of what's to come, but definitely a positive glimpse into the future. You know, with the PS5, we got 120 hertz for the first time on console, and with the PS5 Pro, we even got PSSR, the console's first time ever getting AI upscaling, right? And I think for the most part, the PlayStation has properly succeeded in delivering these things. Outside of PSSR, I have complained about PSSR quite a bit. It's the first iteration of it, and it will get better for sure, but that's the one that I'm not too happy about. Also, variable refresh rate can definitely be improved. Right now, the base is 48 hertz and then up to 120 hertz. But I think it would be a lot better if it had a base of 20 FPS instead of 48. With a VRR baseline of 20 FPS, this would properly cover 30 FPS and 40 FPS. And even though I don't care for 30 FPS, I know that developers like to push hardware to the just max to get the best graphical fidelity out of them, so I'm just trying to cover all bases here. With that being said though, I will say though that I think 40 FPS is a really nice sweet spot, and to my understanding, you really don't get to benefit from variable refresh rate at 40 FPS on the PS5 because of that, strict VRR window, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, overall, I think the PlayStation 5 hit it out of the park with next-gen type of PC level types of features. But yeah, the more I think about these things, the more it's making me want the PS6 actually. I know a while ago I talked about how I wasn't ready for the PS6, and that was really because, well, I wasn't really spending time on my PS5, primarily because it's been lacking in exclusives. We do get them, but they come so few far in between, and that's what I show up for. I show up for the exclusives. But now that I've been showing up for multiplayer competitive games and I'm spending a lot of time with it, yeah, I'm feeling a different way about it. Mainly when playing Battlefield 6 on the PS5 Pro, I think I'm getting around maybe 80 or so FPS in the multiplayer, which is fine, but I would be so much happier if I could get a nice locked and stable 120 FPS. And then aside from that, I'm noticing screen tearing constantly. And I'm not sure if there's a way to turn on VSync. If there is, please let me know in the comments because that's the thing. It just drives me crazy. And then beyond that, the resolution isn't as crisp as I would like it to be. And I totally know that with the PS6 and if Battlefield gets a proper update for that next gen console, all of these little issues should go away. Now, I will say on the Fortnite side of things, it's quite impressive. Not perfect, but way better than Battlefield, man. It looks cleaner, it looks clearer. It's still a little fuzzy, it's still a little blurry, and it would be nice if I can get a proper 4K image out of this. But on the performance side of things, oh my goodness, this game is solid. It screams at 120 FPS. I think it's locked. It's pretty much locked 100% of the time. And I do remember it being the same exact way when I had my base PS5 playing this game a long time ago. And so Fortnite is pretty much there. It's darn near perfect on the PS5. The only thing that would make me happy is if it, again, had a higher resolution, a nice crisp 4K, which I could easily see happening with the PS6, Man, it's so crazy because I've got an RTX 4090, I've got a freaking 9800 X3D, 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM. I've got a super beastie powerful PC, but yet I 100% prefer to play Fortnite on the PS5 Pro, mainly because on the PS5, you get no stutters whatsoever. Fortnite on the console is such a phenomenally butter smooth experience. It is exceptional, man. And it's just not that way on the PC for me. Like whenever I get an update, whenever I play the game for the first time, if I haven't played it in a while, or after, a driver update from my GPU, whatever the case may be, it is a stuttering, disgusting mess. Like, I booted it up to play the Simpsons, update for the first time, and I couldn't even enjoy the intro because the game locked up for a solid, like, 30 seconds. It was crazy. I don't have footage of that, but just trust me, bro, it was bad. But yeah, I went over to the PS5, butter smooth experience. Not a hitch, not a stutter. I was able to watch the cutscene, no problem. I get into matches, it just flows seamlessly between, the bus sequence to hopping out of the bus to landing and to getting into combat. It's excellent, and it just really makes me appreciate this console. And beyond that, I'm really looking forward to playing Black Ops 7. I must see how that game is on the PS5 Pro with crossplay turned off for a couple of reasons. Now, I know the community is very negative on Call of Duty in general, and I totally understand that. I agree with the community. But after Activision finally listened to the community and addressed the skill-based matchmaking, the little time I played on the PC side of things was nothing short but of incredible. It was so fun to play Call of Duty again. It hasn't been like that in like 6 or 7 years. And I've just got this suspicion that it's going to be even better on the PS5 with crossplay turned off, because I was playing again on PC with everyone, PC players, console players, the whole mix. And the experience was amazing. You had a mix of extremely skilled players and extremely not skilled players. And then, everything else in between. But the problem with the PC is the cheating situation. That's always on the back of your mind when you're playing these multiplayer games on that platform. And that's just something you really don't think about when you're playing on the console against console players. I mean, the main problem on console is like the Zim Apex, I think it's called, or the Chronos Zen, the aimbot thing. I don't really pay too much attention to that stuff, but I know it's a big issue with competitive games with the controller, right? I do know it's a problem, but you know what? I'd rather deal with that problem than deal with what we have to deal with on the PC. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, with all these thoughts and all these feelings and just my time spent playing primarily competitive games on the PS5 Pro lately, it's really making me want that PS6. It's just making me daydream of like, what's it going to be like to connect my PS6 to my monitor, boot up Fortnite, boot up Battlefield, boot up Call of Duty, and be able to play all of these games at a solid 120 FPS at a, much crisper and cleaner resolution with and against console players only, because the experience that I've been having so far with crossplay turned off on this console has been nothing short but just satisfying. Just relaxing, just exactly what I've been looking for, It's weird because it's like you want to play competitive games for competitive reasons, but there's also this thing where you want to play competitive games in a more casual way, right? You know what I'm saying? Like there's this balance that a lot of us have to where we don't want to be drenched in sweat constantly. And this is how it used to be back in the old days. I remember growing up playing Halo 2 and Halo 3, and they had it right. They figured it out a long time ago, because I remember back in those days, if you wanted to play casual, you would just play, I think it was called the team skirmish lobbies in Halo. And if you wanted to get sweaty and take things seriously, you would just go to Team Slayer. It worked perfectly. I think, again, they figured it out with Halo 2 and Halo 3. Some of the most perfect like matchmaking ever in competitive gaming, to my memory. But I'm going to wrap this video up here. This was mainly a multiplayer focused conversation on the console side of things. I didn't get into single player stuff whatsoever because that's just not where my head is right now. I'm just playing a bunch of BF6, bunch of Fortnite, and pretty soon a bunch of Black Ops 7 on the PS5 Pro, and it's been an eye-opening experience, and it has been a blissful experience. I've just been having that good old school, like casual multiplayer fun that I haven't had in years, man. And I thought it was gone, but no, it exists. It exists on the console pretty much. So that's going to do it for this laid back video. And yeah, let me know how you feel about this in the comments below. And I'll be talking to you again real soon. Have an awesome one. Take care.